All right, from Rialto, California, this is the official VG Charts podcast, the gamrFeed.
Don't tell people we're from Rialto.
The gamrFeed Weekly.
I think we just lost some credibility.
I think the point is wherever we're recording from, right? We're gonna say where we're recording from.
We're close enough to LA to be LA.
Are we though?
Yes.
It's like a wall away.
I did drive an hour and a half to get here from Hollywood.
Okay, see, there you go.
I want some gas money.
I'm your host, Carlos Macias, and the other person you heard is Nick Simberg, the senior editor for VG Charts.
Holla.
And then we also got back from vacation. We got Austin Adamson.
Hey,
again back on the mic. What did you do last week? I mean, you know,
I was in Vegas for the Electric Daisy Carnival, which is.
How was that? I'd never heard about this, but the other day I did read up about
it. It was insane. The first night there were it's a rave, I guess. It goes from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. And the first night there were about 70,000 people there. Saw Tiesto play and some other big name DJs. Afrojack.
Did you see Daft Punk?
No, Daft Punk was not there. I wish. That they haven't.
Wait, what is this? Something they toured throughout the whole country? Or,
they have 4 locations that they do it at, and it's pretty insane. Like, not only like just the crowd and all the people on drugs and light shows, but there's like
now Austin, were you one of these people?
I was just
Austin doesn't do drugs. He is white.
I was just observing all the people rolling.
Wait, now do you have to buy tickets or something at this thing, or you just walk into the street? And
you have to buy tickets, but it's like a carnival. Like they actually had carnival rides and all the rides were free.
You mean ICP was here? Is that the type of
carnival?
carnival?
The Juggalos,
like the county fair kind of carnival.
There were pigs and
expensive
rides,
fireworks every day at 2 a.m.
Cheese curds.
2 a.m. for 15 minutes. $150,000 a day they spent on fireworks.
Awesome.
For 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Hey, you got your money's worth,
That's
right?
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. And also, we got Louis Racino.
It was epic.
We also got Louis Racino's back on the mic.
Yo.
As well. He's actually using the SingStar mic, so I hope he's coming through.
I hope clearly. I sound pretty good.
You sound like Queen or ABBA.
What is it? Where'd you Adam Austin got this?
I won
as a pack-in.
I won a SingStar dance pack with 2 Move controllers and 2 microphones. So
you came up.
So that's how we do it on the podcast. Very professional.
Yep.
And actually, you did come with some news though. The Gears of War 3 beta leak or something.
Yeah. There's apparently there's a nearly final build of the Gears of War 3 that was leaked onto the internet, and people are playing it.
It's multiplayer enabled?
Well, I guess all the game modes are playable, but I don't think people are going to be playing it on Xbox Live, just because you have to have one of the more elaborate modifications, the JTAG mod, if you guys are familiar with that. And
wait, is Austin teaching people how to mod their system?
Yeah, we can't talk about this anymore.
I'm just well versed in technology.
Okay.
Is your system modded?
No comment.
Wait, is it a build? Is the build on the internet kind of like what happened with Half-Life 2, where some of the textures are missing?
It's similar to the Half-Life 2 leak, except this is later in production, so more of the files are there. Like Half-Life 2, I think leaked a year. The first time it leaked like a year before it came out, and this is 80 days prior.
Which caused it to delay it, right? They delayed it for a year. They're like, well, we're not messing around. We leaked this for...
Yeah, there's some speculation that people are saying that the Gears of War 3 might be released early because of this, But I don't know.
I doubt
it.
You think so? I don't think
so.
it's what was it that CDs get released earlier? I don't think it's that same situation.
It was good enough for the Beastie Boys.
Yeah,
their clean version of the hot dog jalapeno convention or whatever. It leaked, and so they were like, "We're gonna let you stream the whole album, the dirty version, for free because we're the Beastie Boys."
But I mean, it's not the same thing though, right? Because it's you don't have the full game, you don't have the full experience, I guess, the graphical fidelity, and it's
pretty close from what I've heard.
Okay. So I don't know. I don't know, but I don't know if they'll release it early though. Don't they still gotta go gold, and don't they still have to?
Yeah, they haven't started printing discs or whatever it is they do. So.
All right. So they have Epic hasn't acknowledged this leak or anything like that yet.
Not yet. I don't think they will. Not for a while.
Okay, so that's one of the news. The other big news actually was Capcom is using one save file in Resident Evil: The Mercenaries 3D. Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, what do you guys think about that? Is that's a good move on Capcom or
No?
That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say.
Well,
on this. What do you think?
like the Mercenaries thing, it's basically a collection of mini games. So it's just you won't be able to start at the beginning with your unlocks, which they're trying to kill the used game market.
Yeah.
I get it, but
they've made a statement.
What did they say?
That it has nothing to do with secondhand sales.
What's it for?
I don't know. They haven't said, right?
Is it just the 3DS cartridges are so small that they can't have 2 saves like you can on an NES game?
Oh, then why not just erase the save?
Well, that would be too obvious.
So, what do you guys say? I mean, the thing that came out, Australia decided not to buy back
GameStop,
copies or anything like that.
in Australia said that they are not going to buy any, and that lasted for a day.
Like,
and now they start
we'll
buying them back.
it.
Yeah, but there's a Play and Trade is buying them back still for $8. So you spend $40 on this game, you can trade it back in for $8. And GameStop, you can buy it. You can trade it in for $18. It only lasted one day, and they're like, it's fine.
Well, I know the issue for me is GameFly doesn't rent it to me. I'm opposed to this.
But I heard about GameFly. They have one in Canada. No, not Canada.
No, I think it's GameX is in Canada.
No, GameFly, they have a Seattle distribution center now, and that's a big deal for us, for Alaskans. Because they used to take forever to get your Alaskan GameFly rentals.
There you go.
It already sucks enough living in Alaska, but then you have to wait an extra 6 months to get, like, Gears of War 3.
Oh, man.
That's stupid.
Well, I think I figured out the system where I can get it day one. So this is one of the things with Resident Evil. I didn't really care too much about it at first because I was like, hey, I know the system enough to get it day one. But, they surprised me with it's not a rentable game. You can't even get it day one or whatever. So I don't know. To you, do you guys matter? Would you guys buy a used copy of the game regardless of if you can reset the data? Is it that important for you guys? Or?
No, I'm not going to play it anyway. I played Resident Evil 5. That game sucked.
I wanted to play for the Resident Evil demo, though. The Resident Evil Revelations upcoming 3DS game.
Oh, it has that on there.
Really?
That's really all I cared about.
Okay,
I did not care about any save function or anything like that. I just wanted to play the demo.
You were going to spend $40 for a demo?
No, I wasn't. That's why I wanted to rent it.
GameFly.
Okay.
Yeah, but they don't want to rent it. They don't believe in such a deal.
Well, there's nowhere else you can rent handheld games from too, so that's weird.
I had not heard of that.
I don't know. To me, it reminds me of like the whole $10 deal that EA does in a way.
Oh, exactly.
But
online
it's
pass.
The online pass.
I was thinking that's similar. Like, hey, if you want to play our game online, buy this extra $10 if you bought it used. So.
But I think it's worse though because it punishes people that actually buy the game outright anyways. Like the new game buyers are getting punished themselves also because they could play through the game and I don't know if they want to reset the data. Why not?
Yeah.
What does it cost them?
Right.
I mean, we've been having deletable saves since the NES days, since the Nintendo started throwing their battery pack saves or whatever it is that they did, and I don't know. It seems weird. That's not what it's called. You guys are laughing. Let them know what's the real time.
I just never heard it called that before.
No, yeah.
What do you call it?
What would you call it?
Battery pack saves? I just hadn't heard of that.
What do you call it?
Like what? Like the
it's battery backup.
Yeah, battery backup.
Yeah.
There you go.
It has that little CR2032 battery in it that you're not supposed to pop open and
we got the
replace
real
it.
technical details.
Well, it's the same thing that they
go.
used on the Dreamcast VMUs and the Pocket Station, which I imported to play Final Fantasy VIII because I'm a huge nerd.
Awesome.
It was awesome. And you could use it as a memory card.
All right.
Remember memory cards? Those used to be great.
Yeah.
There's like 15 beers in front of Carlos right now, and he's trying to figure out which one to drink. He's like,
I'm making the empty one.
This one's
really
empty. Oh, this one I peed in.
So there's some news coming out. The Windows Live is integrating somehow, or what is the?
Yeah.
Games for Windows Live and Xbox.com are becoming one thing. And the Microsoft guys said it's because it's going to be easier, but everyone knows it's because Games for Windows Live has been a failure since it launched.
Well, they kind of botched it right from the start, right? I mean, what's the incentive, I guess, for
weren't there only like 2 games
on
on Games for Windows Live anyway, like Lost Planet 2 and Shadowrun?
Which are probably not the showcase games.
They had a Gears of War, I think that was Games for Windows with an extra chapter.
What was the extra chapter called?
I don't know. I didn't play it.
Cool story, bro.
Well, but I mean, what's their plan though? Because I know Batman Arkham City is coming out, and they're doing it Games for Windows as well. So I don't.
Yeah, but it's also going to be on live. So why would anyone play games for
You
Windows
love
Live.
on Live, right? Because he has this,
I
he
know.
has a free system, the press account. So
I played it. There was no latency. It was better on Apple.
what?
on-
Batman Arkham
I
City.
played Arkham Asylum.
That's not the same thing. No,
It was
it's not,
it's the same game.
it's not the same thing.
They're pretty close, right?
I just sweated in my microphone. It's like 100 degrees in here.
It's nice.
And
It's like a sauna. I
There's
kind of like it.
This
It's,
garage.
kind of like it.
It's
I'm
just
cleansing.
like a sauna. There's like
I'm
5
cleansing.
naked dudes in here. And
Well, so the other news, I guess, is the Supreme Court ruling that came down. I guess that they called the whatever. Who's the guy? Leland
Schwarzenegger.
or somebody. He proposed a law to say that,
yeah, and
make it against the law to sell to minors or whatever. So
yeah,
and then they got
violent
some-
games to sell to minors would be illegal.
You guys have any thoughts on that? I don't know.
well, it like basically made games into porn instead of
Right.
an art entertainment medium, because kids can see R-rated movies.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to because they grow up and end up like Austin.
and they think saunas are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed up, which is like covered in blood. He's like, "Hey guys, can I sit in your sauna?"
Well, I mean, but I think the most important thing that if it would have gone through, it would have been maybe like a deterrent, right? To think creatively.
It would be like
or-
a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Where like, okay, we start banning sale of violent video games to minors, and then we'll start banning violent video games, and then we'll start banning games to minors.
Exactly. Or even
and
if they
start banning minors.
if they if
start banning that to that extreme, right?
even if they didn't just start banning other types of games or whatever, it would make the incentive for publishing these violent games less, because they wouldn't be making as much money potentially.
The only violent video game we'd have left would be Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It would still release every November, and still sell 20 million copies to college kids.
So that's it. That's all we
Quick, find some more news.
They can I guess sell at Walmart still, right? I mean that's really the big thing. It's like if this thing had gone through, it would have been like Walmart would like wait, we can't have all these M-rated games in here, and it's one of the biggest sellers.
For the longest time, Walmart didn't even sell M-rated games anyway.
Yeah.
They just started doing that like a few years ago.
But I mean, it shows just how big of the market it is that they're like, well, we want some of this cash money as well.
Walmart is the reason they started doing edited and non-edited versions of CDs.
Do you think
and Splenda, which has nothing to do with games.
Splenda? What do you mean Splenda? What happened?
Well, like
Whoa,
artificial.
Splenda
Wait.
Let's go off
Continue
a
with the
little bit of Splenda tangent.
There we go.
There was this huge when Splenda first came out. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's way better than sugar. I'm probably not going to get cancer, and this is good for me." And then it gives you cancer. It's cool.
Well, doesn't it give you dementia as well?
Yeah,
I've heard.
nice.
I forgot about that. Okay, but anyway, like Splenda first came out, and Walmart told Pepsi and Coke, it's like, you need to make Splenda versions of your drinks, or we won't stock them anymore at all.
Interesting.
And Coke and Pepsi were like, okay.
But they didn't. Did they make
have to.
Splenda versions?
Walmart.
I remember seeing
they
the,
did because
the Diet Coke Splenda.
Yeah, because of Walmart. It's all Walmart's fault.
But is it still going on though? They kind of
got rid of Splenda in general because all the rats got brain cancer.
And people were getting onset Alzheimer's. Like, that's less important. But I mean, I don't know. Do you guys think that this gives like a free pass to games that are like, let's just make crazy games, and we could even be more violent now? That's like, hey, look, it's art. Their heads are blowing up, but it's art.
They did that with Mad World, but it was a Wii exclusive, so nobody bought it. It's like, this is violent, and Manhunt it didn't really sell that well.
No.
Well, the first one or the second? Because the second
either
one
of them really.
Yeah. And they weren't really very good, actually.
That's not the point.
That's not the point I'm trying to make right now. But yeah, video games, yay, we won.
Yep.
I guess this time.
Well, how do we celebrate?
I don't know. We're gonna go to break and then we'll come back. We'll come after this. We'll come back after this break and we'll talk video games with whatever we've been playing.
Cool.
and we're back on the gamrFeed Weekly. Actually, before we start, we're gonna talk about the games we've been playing. But before we start, Nick wanted to make a special announcement for anybody in the Los Angeles area or Pasadena-ish, thereabouts.
My roommate's moving out on July 15th, and I can't afford to live anymore. So if anybody wants to come be my roommate, I promise I won't kill you, and I have a lot of video games. And we can play them.
And you'll let them touch your OnLive micro console as well.
Yeah, they could touch my OnLive micro console.
There you go, incentive.
They can touch pretty much whatever's in there because I'm at work a lot.
So when do you get kicked out, or when can you not afford, or when do you need somebody to move in with you?
July 15th.
All right.
Wow.
This podcast coming out like the,
like the
4th or something, so help them out if you can, I guess.
Or if you know anyone down like in Santa Monica that wants a roommate who has a lot of video games, I'll come live with you. I can spend like $800 a month.
Put a Craigslist ad out.
That's so creepy. Yeah. I've tried to apply to Craigslist, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I actually live in Arctic Africa right now, and you can have my house while I'm out here." And it's like, that's not real.
Yeah.
Nobody actually lives in Africa and has the internet.
So after this life-altering announcement, we can talk about video games now.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time, The Legend of Zelda came out a couple weeks ago.
In like 1998.
It did. And guess what? Austin, it's his first time playing.
Yeah, this is my first playthrough
on a 3DS.
Yeah.
It's your first playthrough on a 3DS?
On anything,
First
right?
playthrough of Ocarina of Time.
You're not a real gamer.
Yeah, I know.
Why are you on this podcast?
I've never been into the Zelda series, really. I've only beaten one Zelda game, and it was the Minish Cap.
Oh, I loved Minish Cap.
I thought it was...
That hat kept talking to you. It was like a bird.
Yeah.
I wonder if he pooped on his head. Is that a weird thing to say?
But that was the only one I've played, so I decided to give this one another shot.
Well, but now playing a real Zelda game. What do you think?
What?
Well,
I haven't played the Minish Cap though, so I
played Wind Waker. I played Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, but I just never completed them.
I actually beat Twilight
Princess was good though.
I actually beat Wind Waker. It was great until you had to just drive around in your boat for like 3 hours trying to find all the Triforce.
That's where I stopped.
What? Yep. And this one you'll stop as soon as you get to the water level.
That's what I've heard. The infamous water temple. I'm looking forward to that.
So what do you think so far?
Dude.
So far of the game, is it living up to your expectations?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's challenging. They don't hold your hand the whole game like a lot of games tend to do now.
Well, you got to remember this game's as old as Duke Nukem Forever.
A little, yeah, pretty much.
And just as good, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Duke Nukem was not.
This one doesn't.
Not that good. Not 2 out of 10. Not good, but it wasn't very good. So, yeah.
Yep.
So Ocarina of Time. Have you snuck a peek at GameFAQs or anything
No,
like that yet?
I'm staying off of the internet. I'm trying my hardest to not cheat.
It's really hard to think about somebody coming into the game new after it's been out for a decade now.
I know.
You know, so because I'm playing it through also, and I mean, really the only change for me is kind of like the graphical, I guess, impact. It really looks.
It looks a lot better. I mean, I tried to play it when they released it as a bonus disc for Wind Waker. But I couldn't get into it then either.
Because I will say with the whole the whole 3D effect actually adds a little magic to it.
Yeah,
I must say, I don't know, something.
It adds a little depth.
Yeah, I don't know, something. I mean, I think they didn't go they didn't overstep their bounds. I guess Nintendo, they didn't let's make this the best graphically looking game. But they updated enough to where it's
good.
you see particle effects coming into your face.
I like how that's Nintendo's bounds. It's well, we're not going to overstep our bounds and make the best looking game. We're going to make a regular game.
We're not known for that. You know, that's
not how we roll.
Out of our league.
But I don't know. For me, the graphical, they didn't do too much, right? But what they did do is you're walking around and just whatever particle effects are throwing at you, and things are, I don't know. The depth really does add to the game, and it's a small world though. I mean, you think about it, and it's we've had Grand Theft Auto 3 and all these amazing open world games since then.
Yeah.
But I mean, 1998 is cool. It was considered innovative. It was considered very, very open world, I guess, at that time. But
it's fun. It's fun. I like it.
Actually, what is the sense of scale for you? I mean, coming into it for the first time, does it seem like a tiny world, or does it seem like it's I can go anywhere?
I haven't gotten a horse yet, so it seems like I've been walking way too much.
You've been walking. Yeah, that is one of the things that they really didn't go and and like try to fix up or
Yeah,
anything
no
like that.
fast
It's like-
travel. No, I mean sometimes I'll just quit the game, so I'll reload it, so I start at the start point. Like
and you have to
I'll
walk.
start at the forest. If I want to go to the forest, I'm in the castle. I just quit and then load it again, and I'm back in the forest.
So you use it to your advantage, I guess, for as much as you can.
Yeah, but I also like the versatility of controls that they've added. Like they have the option for like the gyro sensor to like look around, and
I thought I wasn't gonna use that actually, but I do.
Eventually,
it's kind of like let me move around and look around for.
It
for
works
everything.
surprisingly well. Like I mean, and I don't know if you can change the sensitivity, like the look sensitivity for when you're just using the circle pad at like a first-person view. But I find that the gyro sensor is much quicker.
Do you use it mostly in 3D, or do you ever find yourself turning it off or anything like that?
For a lot of it, I played it in 3D, but I think the last couple hours I've turned it off. I've noticed like the 3D, at least on this game, it's harder to find that sweet spot. Like at full blast, I see a lot of double vision. Maybe it's just my eyes.
Well, I mean, what it is especially for that gyroscope thing, you actually have to, if you want it to be effective in 3D, it really can, and you kind of have to move your head along with the.
I wouldn't try playing with the gyroscopic controls in 3D. That's
Ocarina of Time, excellent, actually. Which is kind of sad to say that a decade-old game is the only thing you can really play on your 3DS, besides Game Boy Classics, I guess.
Well, it's Nintendo.
Well, I don't know. I've been having fun though with those classics. Though I never played Donkey Kong 94, so it's like one of the first times, and I like how they do the whole retro rouge or whatever, and what is it?
I don't know.
And it's like because you start off the game, it's the first 4 levels.
Router?
Huh? Something. Retro ruse, I think that's what I mean.
I have no idea what that is.
So what happens in Donkey Kong 94 is that you start off and you think it's the original Donkey Kong, just a remake, but you pass the first 4 levels, the first 4 screens or whatever, and then it turns into an actual game with the 100 levels of like puzzle platforming. And
so it's like Donkey Kong versus Mario.
Something like I've heard. Yeah, I haven't played that one, but yeah, I guess it's something similar. I guess this is the starting point. Actually,
retro ruse.
Retro ruse. There you go.
I get it.
Oh.
I thought you said like retro rouge or something. I was like,
did.
Red,
I actually
red and retro.
I
get it.
probably did say that actually.
It's the accent,
and I won't even go back and edit it. It's too much work. So I'll just let it sit there and linger.
Excellent.
No, but you know what? As a Mario fanboy, as what I would call myself, this is the start. This was the start of like the backflip. If you guys remember, in Super Mario 64 kind of popularized it, and it's and when you fall, it does a nice little roll animation. So this is fascinating to me.
I might have to pick this up.
To me,
and that's one of those.
Are you being serious?
A little bit.
That's one of those downloadable games, right?
Yeah.
And it's $4, I think.
$4.
So.
$4.
I haven't bought anything on the 3DS shop yet.
Just like everyone else.
Super Mario Land, though, the original. I don't know. It's weird.
I had that actually.
It's weird.
I have
and
that
it's
on
only,
the Game Boy still.
Yeah.
And it's only 4 levels, 4 worlds. Really, it's like 12 levels.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of interesting though. It's kind of cool because they really changed the physics so much that actually, if you try to jump on a turtle, guess what it does? It explodes.
Wait, what?
So I thought you guys had this
turtle.
Game. Or the Koopa guy. Like, I don't
He's
know.
He doesn't play games.
I don't know. They go back
Koopas.
into their shell. Whatever. I call it turtle. So you jump on them, and instead of being able to bounce it around, it just explodes, and it's kind of cool. And there's this side scroller shooting level like
just
last
like
level.
real life.
Yeah,
you're in like an airplane and a submarine.
Yeah, it was fun.
And you fought the giant
I used to play that on my
seahorse.
Game Boy Pocket.
All right, so Nate, you've been playing Infamous 2, right? That's like,
no, I've been playing.
Did you have anything else to say on Ocarina of Time? Or you're still playing it through, right? What
I'm on the Forest Temple. Forest Temple.
Isn't that the first temple?
Yeah.
Well,
first area. I don't even think that's.
I got the Master Sword.
Okay.
I'm getting like coins now or something.
So Infamous 2. What do you think of Infamous 2?
I've been playing Infamous 1.
Oh, I thought you were playing Infamous.
I don't have
What
money.
What are you doing with Infamous 1? You know this game came out like
I got
2
it for
years ago,
free
right?
because
Welcome
Sony
back.
felt bad.
That
Welcome Back thing ends on Sunday. There's some news.
After
they're done
this podcast goes live.
They're done feeling sorry for themselves. Oh yeah, after the podcast. So if you're listening to this, you already missed it.
So what do you think of Infamous then? Like I thought you were playing Infamous. Why are we talking about a 2-year-old game? But
why are we talking about a 12-year-old game?
Oh,
because it's re-released. Because it was re-released.
Hey, this was re-released as free. It's just we could talk about Team Fortress 2. It became free to play. You want to talk about that?
No. Let's continue with Infamous. What are your thoughts on Infamous?
Well, I played it first, and I was like, oh, I hate this main character. He's so gay. And then I played a little more, and it was like, oh, wait, this isn't so bad. And then I kept playing it. And I'm addicted. I'm addicted to the fetch quests, so it's cool. Okay. It's a lot of the same over and over. But
well, you would like the second one. The second one, they didn't really.
Yeah, I heard the second one was.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, I guess.
Just
New world.
It's weird. Like you can be a good guy or a bad guy, but that's pretty much you have to decide if you want to be a good guy at the beginning, and you decide I want to be a bad guy. And I'm a bad guy because I just want to beat up pedestrians, just like real life.
Have you always been you want to be a bad guy in a lot of video games, or what does it depend on?
I was in KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, because you could get the kill force power.
Oh.
And good guy, your force power is like heal. Whoa, yeah.
Hey, but you're moral. You're morally good though. Like
in real life,
that's good on your conscience.
In real life,
do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Hey,
I think it's purposeful, right? Like the design is like. If you're good, it's gonna be a hard life.
Hey,
if you're
sometimes
good.
the right thing is the harder thing.
On PlayStation 3, you get rewarded whether you're good or bad, and you have to do both.
You know what? That is one of the cool things that Infamous does do is that whether or not whichever route you go, you do kind of have separate powers. So it's not just hey, look, your conscience will, you'll be able to sleep at night if you go the good route. But you actually get different powers. I think if Infamous, your healing powers are better, right? If you're good.
I don't know. I never heal. I just take the power from the dead people.
Yeah, well, you would like if you're like an Infamous one, then Infamous 2 is pretty much the same.
The only thing that it's like, oh, you're a bad guy, now this girl doesn't like you anymore,
and it doesn't.
Oh, well.
But whatever, you're bigger than her. You just zap her, and
Okay.
Ha ha ha! Just kidding. It's rated T for teen.
So what else have you guys been playing? Oh, actually, you know what? Shadows of the Dam, I've been playing. This is an excellent game, and everybody needs to pick it up.
I've not heard of it.
Which is a sad. It's
Suda 51, right?
Yeah, Suda 51 trip. I guess
everything he makes is a trip.
It's Suda 51 with Shinji Mikami, I guess, who's a guy who
Resident Evil.
Yeah, he made Resident Evil, which I think it's a good mix where it's like Suda 51 has kind of his trippy trippy visuals and trippy aesthetics and everything. And I think Shinji probably grounds it.
Killer 7 and
okay, right.
No More Heroes.
No More Heroes.
You know what? Okay, I have heard about this game then.
Which it's really demented. It's really crazy. The main character is Garcia Hotspur, and pretty much his girlfriend got kidnapped.
It's not a real name.
Hey, it's his name. It's in a video game. So they get the evil powers that be like kind of kidnapped his girlfriend. And he has to go after her.
All right.
And actually, one of the interesting things is that the gameplay is actually good.
That's what I heard.
Because I don't know from
the gameplay is playable.
That's a good change of pace.
Both of
those characters.
Exactly.
It's really playable. It's really good, and it's pretty much they did it with the Unreal Engine. So I don't know how Killer 7 and No More Heroes worked. I don't know if they created their own engine or whatever it is. But for this one, they used the Unreal Engine, and it's a really solid third-person shooter, and you gotta your weapons are called a boner.
That's right.
That's your sidekick,
just like real life.
And there's some bantering. There's some bantering.
Some boner banter.
Some really good. It's what Duke Nukem should have been if it had.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard about this game.
And I mean, for the most part, it's a typical shooter. You get a shotgun, you have a pistol, and they evolve into different crazy configurations over time. And I don't know. It's one of I think one of the more interesting things about the game is that it uses like a light and dark mechanic, which you would think would be annoying. Kind of like, I don't know if you guys played Metroid Prime 2.
Yes.
That destroyed that game, in my opinion. It was, I was done with that game.
I played that till I got to that. But I was hard. I'm gonna play something
else.
But
this one's really interesting in that like the light and dark mechanic is like when it goes dark, there you have different strategies that you can take on, and if to make it go light again, you shoot a goat head. Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
So it's one of the few games that actually uses this whole light and dark mechanic and actually makes it work, and it's really fun. Everybody should play it.
Are there those goats just walking around all over the place?
No. It's a goat head. It's like on a mantle, I guess, in every level. You hear it beating like in the background, and you're like, "Where is the
goat head beating?"
Yeah, isn't that what they do?
Oh, bleeding.
No,
like
no,
meh,
something like that.
Chris Rock or Chris Tucker. I mean,
something like that. So you find them, on like separate walls, and it's
all right.
Everybody should play. It's very solid, and it's like it's playable, and actually is really trippy. So they can concentrate it as making it as trippy as possible, and yet it's very
Still
I can sit down
like every Suda 51 game. I'll wait until it's $10 in 6 months.
I actually feel kind of. This is how good this game is. I feel bad that I rented it. Like I will have to find a new copy to support this. It's a great game.
All right.
So I feel kind of bad for renting this, so I have to find a new copy of the game and finish it that way. But anything else? You guys play anything else exciting?
Trenched. I've been playing Trenched.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. What's up with Trenched? What do you think of that?
It's fun, I guess. I haven't played any multiplayer, but I'm into tower defense games, and this game is pretty good, I guess. It's it's like a mech tower defense hybrid.
That's a glowing recommendation. It's pretty good, I guess.
Pretty good.
For Tim Schafer,
but
it's fine.
From what I've seen, it seems like it's like some strategy thrown into a third-person shooter.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a mech thing, and you place turrets strategically. And
now in this game, do you kind of strategize beforehand before you actually go into battle?
A little bit. I mean, it recommends what equipment you should take, and that's pretty much how you should do it if you're playing single player. Mm-hmm. And then you get to place your turrets wherever you want, and it tells you where the enemies are going to come from.
Is it playable for someone that just wants to shoot stuff?
Yeah, it is. It is, and I'd encourage the multiplayer for that, because then you can just hang back with the biggest turrets on your mech and just not worry about building anything.
Trench.
Did you guys? I heard that it's not getting released in Europe because of a dispute with a random board game called Trenched. And so they're like, I have this big copyright thing just to get it released over there.
Oh boy!
And Tim Schafer's like, come on, guys. That's my Tim Schafer impression. I don't know if he actually talks like that.
I don't know if he talks like that. I don't think so.
He actually looks
I don't think he actually
does. He looks a little bit like Tim Burton, so I kind of picture him talking like the Penguin.
I did. I mistook him for Tim Burton last week on the podcast. So,
you saw him on a podcast?
No, last week I missed. I named him as Tim Burton.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, we made fun of you.
Right.
As we should have.
Well, did you guys try any out of the betas that were out this week? I believe the Uncharted 3 Journey.
I didn't get into any of those.
How do we get into the Journey beta? I need to figure that out, because that looks way cooler.
Somebody on the internet dropped the beta, and I swooped it up. So it's Journey. It's very good. It's very. Were you guys a fan of? Are you guys a fan of any of that game company's games? Any other?
I really like Flower and Flow.
I like Flow.
Flow was a little, I think, aimless to me personally, but Flower was incredible.
I never tried Flower.
Wait, you didn't like Flow because it was aimless, but you liked Flower?
Yeah,
What's wrong with you?
Flower, you pick up pedals. It's like, I missed the pedal.
Flow, you pick up
pedals. Let me come back around and get all those pedals.
And when you missed it, you went back up to the other level and got more animals. They were the same game.
Creature thing.
No. I didn't think so. I was like, I understand what you're saying. I fully understand the gameplay of Flow, but it didn't catch me the same way. I don't know. Journey though, it pretty much follows in the same steps. Very artistically driven, and you're really just dropped into a desert, and you're like, I gotta get to that hilltop, and you really want to get there.
I really hope it's just like it's all moody and atmospheric for the whole game, like 10 hours or whatever, and then at the end it just blares Journey. Don't stop believing, and that's just how the game ends, just as the credits roll.
Well, you know what? I was hoping to get a chance to do some co-op, and it seemed like somebody was dropped into the game for a bit.
But you can't like talk to each other, and you can only communicate with like your dancing or whatever.
Really?
Well, I mean, they've said it's kind of like they want to equate it to like say hiking or something like that, which is like. I don't know. I guess they just follow you if you want. I didn't really get to interact with the other person. They just kind of dropped in a random section. Otherwise, I didn't really interact with them. But
that's weird.
It seems like a cool game. It's very simple mechanics. It's like you just jump around and collect stuff and just.
All right.
Very, very abstract.
I love
very
Mario
beautiful.
Brothers.
Jump around.
Very abstract. Very, very beautiful. So I was like,
what do you collect?
I'm looking
what
forward
do you collect?
Yeah.
Is it coins?
Well, actually, to
Gold
be
rings?
able to jump, you need to collect like flags around the level, so you're kind of walking around.
Assassin's Creed.
Oh, that's the first Assassin's Creed.
So I don't know. I'm looking forward. I actually got stuck halfway through, like glitches. It's a beta, so I got stuck, and I was like,
That's what I'm hearing about Uncharted 3 too. Just buggy, just all
They've
out.
been updating it, though. I think they had a couple of days,
There's
so
only been
they're
one.
conscious about it.
There's been one update.
That's singular.
And it took me like 5 hours to download because it's on PSN. And we'll be back. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the
flaming comments at the bottom.
we'll be coming back with actually a few interviews with, who was it? Shadow... No.
Skulls of the
Shogun
Shogans
and
and
Skullgirls.
Skullgirls.
So we'll be back. We'll
You
be
see
back
that
with that.
harmonizing?
That was beautiful.
Back on the gamrFeed Weekly. Last week there was a what was it, a giant robot thing with the Skulls of the Shogun and Skullgirls developers, right? And Nick interviewed them.
Yep.
So we'll be playing the Skulls of the Skullgirls in interview first. And who did you talk to?
Peter Bartholow.
Was it an awesome interview?
Yep.
Are people going to be entertained by it?
Nope.
Are they going to learn anything about the game?
Yep.
So it's a 2D fighting game. 2D fighting game that I guess they based on
the Marvel vs. Capcom engine.
Which is kind of...
But except they were really... Marvel vs. Capcom, it's one of the most unbalanced fighter games that's like you can't even use it in tournaments because everyone's the same person.
So you'll
But
hear...
this one, they like got rid of the stuff and hey, there's a dog. This one, they got... They got rid of the crap and tried to make it balanced because they got a guy working on it who actually was a playtester or something.
So you hear about it, I guess, from the source, right? From a developer. And we'll come back and give our comments, I guess.
Yep.
On what you hear. It's coming up.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Nick Zimberg, VG Charts, and who are you? I'm Peter Bartholow. I'm a designer and community guy at Reverge Labs, the developer of Skullgirls. All right, is this your first game? You mean my first game as a developer or first game as Reverge Labs? I don't know. Not my first game as a developer. I've been a designer for 11 years now, but this is Reverge Labs' first game. Okay. And you want to tell us a little bit about Skullgirls, what separates it from other fighting games? Skullgirls is a new 2D fighting game. We're building on Marvel vs. Capcom 2 as a base, but our lead designer is a tournament fighter, and so he's really just trying to take the fun of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and fix it up and make it tournament worthy with with balance fixes and an anti-infinite system and little tweaks like that so that it's actually tournament worthy. So people will actually not just get frustrated and use the same 3 combos over and over? Yeah, basically. That's obviously where the anti-infinite system comes in. If the game detects that you're looping a combo, the hit sparks will change color, and then the other player can get out of it completely free. So it completely disincentivizes, that sort of mentality of, I'm going to look up an easy 3-hit combo on the internet and use it to just kill everybody. What it also does is it actually teaches you how to play the game better because you can't fall back on that. And as long as you keep improvising and changing up your combo, it can go on as long as you want, or as long as you're capable. So, it eliminates cheesing and it incentivizes skill, which we only think are good things. That sounds good to me. And I noticed when you start a match, you can pick 1 super powerful character, 2 kind of powerful characters, or 3 regular characters. Yeah. How does that affect the game strategy? basically, it's sort of a brains versus bronze decision. If you're one character, you have a fuck ton of... Wait, I shouldn't say that.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's awesome. This is the real world.
Okay. You have a fuck ton of hit points and extra damage. And when you're three characters... Oh, sorry. If you're one character, you obviously don't have assists or health regeneration while you're tagged out and all of that kind of stuff you get with team play. Whereas if you're three characters, you have a lot more strategic options. You have assists and things like that, which are very useful. So far it seems to be pretty balanced out pretty well.
Which one do you prefer?
I prefer three characters because I think it's more fun to play with three characters, but I'm not particularly good at it, but
yeah,
I'll get better.
Might as well. How many characters are you looking to have in the whole game?
We're looking at around 8, I think. So yeah, around that.
And you talked to my cohort, I guess, Xavier, at E3, and he pointed out that, or you told him that they were all going to be girls with maybe DLC guys.
Yeah. All the initial. So the creative director Alex, he does actually have kind of a big overarching story for the game, and kind of the order he came up with the characters was based on their sort of story relevance. So the initial character roster are all going to be girls because that's kind of how the story worked out. Overall story of the game is that there's an artifact that grants a wish to a young woman. So it makes sense that young women would be the primary people seeking out the artifact. But there are also organizations like the Mafia and the military that also want to get their hands on the artifact or destroy it or things like that. And those organizations obviously contain men. So once we get into the DLC, there will be crazy-ass guy characters as well.
Okay, and when's it looking like you're going to be able to release it?
Later this year is the current plan.
All right, and just Xbox or
PSN and XBLA. It's a downloadable game.
Cool. And, well, I guess that's about it. I just want to touch base with you, see what you had to offer.
No, thanks for coming by.
Hey, thanks for having me. Nice to meet you, man. Good luck.
Later.
This next interview you guys are going to listen to is with the developer of Skulls of the Shogun.
Yeah.
Exciting. Nick interviewed, who did you interview for this one?
Ben Vance.
There you go.
He does design and writing and some other thing, programming.
It's going to be awesome.
I guess it's a turn-based strategy game inspired by Advance Wars. And he talks about the history and some of the inspirations and how they're trying to separate it from the pack, make it, people want to play a turn-based strategy game again.
All right, so go ahead and listen to that, and we'll be back in a few.
Wait, okay. It says it's recording. All right. Okay. So, I'm Nick Simberg, VG Chart. And who are you?
I'm Ben Vance. I'm doing programming, some design. We're sharing design responsibilities and some writing on Skulls of the Shogun.
Skulls of the Shogun. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. The story is you're a great general in life, and you basically have your biggest victory. And at that moment, when you're most triumphant, you're stabbed in the back, and you die. And you're thrown into the afterlife, and you're like, okay, what's going on here? Am I dead? What's going on? And you show up, and you're expected to be treated very well because you're a very honorable, important general. And you show up, and everybody's kind of like, they don't care, They just they're like,
everyone's the same when they're dead, right?
Well, yeah, and actually the thing is you find out that somebody actually took your spot in the afterlife. So you were supposed to have an important position, but they're like, yeah, actually, that guy already came through here. I don't know what you're talking about. And there's this big line, and you're like, I'm not going to wait in the line. Like, I'm an important guy. Like, basically, if you want to get into the afterlife proper, you have to wait in this line normally. It takes like 500 years, and he's not going to do that. So he goes on the rampage, and is just going to basically break his way into the afterlife and figure out what's going on.
So he kind of builds an army and to take over.
So it's about him recruiting and building up his forces and figuring out what's going on. So that's a single-player campaign.
Okay.
But, yeah, I haven't even talked about the game yet. It's a turn-based strategy game.
All right, yeah, I played a little bit. It kind of reminded me of Breath of Dragon Fire Quarter, a little bit of Valkyria Chronicles, and a little Advance Wars.
Okay.
Have you played those 3 games?
I played Advance Wars. I don't think I played the other 2. So you're definitely more experienced than I am in that area. But yeah, we're trying to do something. I mean, it's very inspired by Advance Wars, but a lot of those games are amazing, but they haven't changed a whole lot. They've kind of been the same thing. So we're kind of just trying to really update it and make it more faster paced. We call it arcade strategy, actually, because we're trying to, do things like keep all the action in the world. We don't cut away to separate animations or anything like that. Keep everything snappy, and then in a multiplayer context, you can put a timer on the game and just make it something that's more fun to experience with other people.
And it's going to be online and stuff too, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And we support. I mean, local multiplayer is a big deal for us, but of course we support online as well. So you can have any combination of, people playing here against people on the net. So one person here versus 3 people on a couch somewhere else.
All right. And how many people will be able to play at once?
4.
Okay. And Xbox, PS3,
Xbox, and PC.
Okay. Maybe do PSN later or just...
Yeah, possibly. I mean, we're looking at other platforms. We might also be on Windows Phone and mobile platforms as well. We're a very small team, so
I could see this working well on the iPod, iOS.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be cool.
No, it would make a ton of sense there. It's just we've got these versions working. We need to finish them and then go on because there's 3 of us working on it full time, and then we've got a few part-time people as well. Okay. So we don't really have the resources to hit every platform.
What's the release schedule looking like?
We should be out in January.
All right. And how'd you get involved with Skullgirls and Giant Robot?
So we happen to know a couple of the Skullgirls guys, just being part of the kind of the gaming industry. But Giant Robot, actually, I've been coming to Giant Robot for a long time. I'm a big fan of all the stuff they do. I love coming here, seeing the art shows that they do. And I met Adam Robozzoli, who organizes this, and I met him when he was doing one of the Art X Games things, where they were doing video games kind of mashed up with art. And I was talking to him then, and that was even before I was working on this game. And then things changed for me. The team that is putting this together, the core of us, we all met while working at Electronic Arts, and that was a few years ago. And things changed there. We kind of went our separate ways, and then we got together and started making this. I guess about a year and a half ago. And yeah, I kept seeing Adam and running into Adam and talking to him, and we were saying, hey, yeah, we should do a game night with.
We both have Skull games. Let's do something with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Might as well, huh?
So, Skulls of the Shogun, Nick, what do you think?
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. He mentioned Advance Wars on there. Did you get a sense of it being...
Yeah, I felt more like Valkyria Chronicles, like where you can move in this certain area, or maybe even Arc the Lad. You can move in this certain area, then you can do an action, and then your turn is over for that guy, and then you have so many turns, and if you pick up skulls, you can get more turns. It's like the skulls of your enemies. After you kill them, you can absorb their powers. You get 3 of them. You can get extra turn for each person. There's a lot going on, and it's
well. How does it
online and everything?
So just the strategy reminds you of Valkyria Chronicles, because Valkyria Chronicles was kind of a third person, right? Shooting, and you're actually doing the shooting yourself. You
never actually played Valkyria Chronicles.
I have it actually.
That's how you can tell, because that's not what it is.
Shamefully, I have that game, and I've never really played through it. I was like, I gotta kind of think about what I do next.
I know Tyrillian really loves that game, but I think it sucks.
Well, who's Tyrillian? I don't think people know.
Tyrillian is Carl Kepke, one of the reviewers, and he's very big in the forums, and he's actually one of the few people that listen to the podcast. So, Carl, your choice in video games is lacking, and you are the reason they're never going to localize Valkyria Chronicles 3.
Wait, 3, it's also a PSP game, right? Or
yeah, so nobody cares anyway. He didn't buy the first PSP game, but it's
but
America.
He loves it though.
Probably.
So, so you're looking. What's the release dates or price points?
I think it comes out in the beginning of next year. January, and it's going to be on Xbox and PC, Steam, and hopefully on PS3 someday, maybe.
I mean, if the network's up.
Well, yeah, it's still not up in Japan, I don't think.
No.
But, whatever. It's not like they have 60 million PS3s over there. That would be silly. It works in America, which is weird because, we have a lot more people.
Yes. And Austin, you haven't checked the game out?
No, I haven't seen anything on this one.
This was the first time I'd seen it.
But
cool.
I like those turn-based strategies. I've been playing that one on 3DS, the Ghost Recon one.
Ghost Recon?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of
Tom
this.
Clancy, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare. It's the
strategy
one on 3DS, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but yeah.
It's been released already?
Yeah, it was like a launch title.
It was every game was a launch title except for Zelda.
Right. Well, no, they've been Dead or Alive.
They're like, let's try to slip all these games in launch. It doesn't really matter if it's good or not.
Right.
All right. So they don't plan any portable versions of this game. Then it's strictly going to be a console.
This seems like it would really work well on the iPad turn-based strategy game online. That would be perfect for it. And I told them, I was like, he's like maybe.
We'll see. Well, I mean, you got to because they're smaller teams, right? And they only have so many resources.
Yeah, they only have 3 people on this team, so. They're doing the best they can.
The fact that it's coming out, I guess.
The fact that it's coming out is neat enough. It's like we got 3 people full time and other people. I don't know.
Wait, it's not grid based, right? It's you can walk around freely. It's not.
Yeah, and when you have 2 people that are next to each other, they kind of form a spirit wall. So they they reinforce each other and become stronger because they link arms or something like Red Rover. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, that's it for the gamrFeed Weekly this week. Thanks Nick Simberg for making the trip out, and it's really hot, so I'm sure you want to get out of here now.
Oh, it's so hot. Let's have some tacos.
Yeah, we're gonna have some delicious homemade tacos.
You can't have any, Austin.
Yeah, I know. You missed out last week. What are you even doing here?
Get out of here, Whitey.
So Austin Adamson, thanks again for making it out to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I'm your host, Carlos Macias.
Host
from Rialto, California.
Oh, this isn't even your house. This is Carlos' parents' house.
Hey, this is a space we can record at. So we'll see you guys next week. And next week we're going to be recording from So look forward to that, I guess.
At my house, we're going to put everything on boxes.
And we'll have a special guest.
Someone come live with me.